Good evening from New York. I'm Selwyn Collins, your host of CWS Journeys. Thank you for joining us. Those of you joining us for the first time, a very special thank you. I am happy to have with me in the studio tonight a brother from my part of the world, South America, one of the Guyanas actually, French Guyana. His name is Yannick LeBrun. Yannick, am I pronouncing
Yannick LeBrun.
LeBrun? Okay, good. I got it right. Yannick LeBrun. I I do this show inviting people to share their journey, share their stories, because I believe that we're never more connected than when we share our stories. But more importantly, I challenge my guests to imagine a young person listening to them talking about their journeys and some of the challenges they may have overcome. And imagine that person one day becoming a person of note. I was very touched when Yannick found the time to, because he's a very busy guy, as you guys will hear tonight, to come here and share his journey with us. I'm not going to take a break tonight. I'll bring him on. The gentleman next to me is Yannick LeBrun. Yannick, good evening and welcome to CWS.
Good evening,
Journeys.
Alvin. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
You're welcome, Yannick. Please tell us three things that come to mind when someone asks you about yourself and you're telling them who you are. What are three positive things that come to mind?
Um, Dedicated,
Mhm.
um, go-getter, and generous.
Generous.
Yeah,
I think we are a recipient of that generosity tonight.
thanks.
Thank you, man. If you were not dancing today as a career, what career would you like to have tried?
That's a very hard question because I think that without dance, I cannot even function. Dance is a necessity for me, but I probably would have tried something that has to do with being able to speak different languages. My first language is French, and I love to travel as well. So something that has to do with um, traveling, exploring, things like
Correct.
that. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your childhood growing up in Cayenne, French Guyana.
Yeah.
Two ages, around 9 and 14.
hmm So I started dancing when I was 9 years old in a very small dance studio in the center of Cayenne, the capital of French Guyana. Um, and it's actually thanks to my cousin. She started before me, and she had a she had a dance competition. She was like, "Okay, Yannick, you should come see me dance and perform. It's gonna be very cool. Just come and come support me." So I did not hesitate. I went and I fell in love with it. And so the next year I joined the same school that she was in, and that's how I started. I started with ballet, and then jazz and different techniques, modern, a little bit of hip hop, African. So I was very open to different techniques.
So, what is it about that event that appealed to you? What is it about the dance that appealed to you that made you decide, look, I want to try this?
Seeing people having fun on stage and and just seeing the passionate people. I mean, like it's all about um, like I said, dance is a language, so whatever they feel, you feel it as well. Um, and I just felt a lot of joy, a lot of excitement, a lot of passion. I felt like I also love music. I also like rhythm. So as a as a young little boy growing up, I was influenced and I was already in that culture, the carnival, the traditional beats and everything. So even that influenced me as well. Then I fell in love with ballet also, and so it was this combination.
Your cousin invited you.
Yes.
But let's go to your parents.
hmm
Was or is any of them dancer? Are they in the arts?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, but they definitely accepted. My dad at first was like, not sure. But no, it was not an issue for them. They let me pursue my love and passion for them.
What is your favorite memory of them
My
when you were growing up as a child?
My favorite memory of them, just just them coming to support me every time I had a performance and I had a dance competition. Sometimes, I mean, it's sad to say, but I hear some stories of kids that don't have the support from their parents, will not even help them financially to go out and to support them to do some summer workshops sometimes, or go study here and there, so that they can grow as dancers. I had the chance for that. So this is a general memory, the support especially from my mother.
Do you remember your first competition?
Yes, that was
What it felt like?
Oh, I was nervous. Yeah, I was competing in ballet, and I won the first prize. And in my category, we it was a little short solo, so nothing too hard. But I remember being very nervous, and like I said, French Guiana is a French department, overseas French department, so it belongs to France. And in France, the National Confederation of Dance organizes this competition every year. So it happens in every department of France and the overseas department of France as well. And everyone in France does that same routine. It depends on the category. So then I had to move for the final to a city in France, and I won the third medal.
Wow.
A lot of people can win the third medal, second medal, or first prize. But I was not discouraged. Of course not. I was not discouraged, and I kept going year after year, then competing in different techniques: ballet, modern, contemporary, jazz, and I won a couple of first prizes. Yeah, even at the final in France, and that's how I was able to be noticed and to be offered workshops, summer dance programs.
Did you ever felt like quitting, like stopping?
No.
Through your career?
No, never, because I knew that it was in me, that no one could destroy my passion for dance. Even being a young only boy dancing in the dance studio, yeah.
What did that feel like for young people that are listening, for young boys who are thinking about getting into dance, and perhaps are being discouraged because of whatever reason?
Because of people making fun of them
Yes.
or things like that, yeah. Of course I had to go through that, but I never let it interfere. I mean, I never really let it affect my moral. And at times, yes, I felt like, okay, this is getting a bit much, this is a lot of pressure, you're the only one, and people are actually looking at you to see if you're gonna do well, they've never seen that before. But I was putting the work in. It was about working hard, making sure that I was still passionate and dedicated to what I was doing, and nobody else could even, take that away from me. So, no, I kept dancing, and I think that you have to stay strong, definitely.
What's one day the best compliment your mom ever gave to you?
The best compliment that she gave.
Or just a compliment that she had given to you that really resonated with you?
Besides, Yannick, I'm so proud of you, one of the best, it's actually one of the most recent one, that the whole family, she told me that the whole family is proud of me, and that we're so happy that you're representing for French Guiana as well. So, and your little brothers, of course, they're still over there and back in French Guiana. So it was just being proud, and she was happy that I was making an impact also for.
You dance for Alvin, and that's a big thing to come from South America, come from French Guiana, and do this, be part of Alvin's dance here.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you personally, that as how you, this is French Guiana, French Guyanese, that you are part of Alvin?
I definitely realized my dream. Like I said, when I got a scholarship to go study abroad, and I remember in New York City at the Ailey School, when the director of the Ailey School at that time noticed me and gave me scholarships in 2001, 2002, 2003. I was so impressed, and I fell in love with it, with the style. I felt like it fit me, and it was. I definitely enjoyed working with so many different choreographers, and I had no clue that I was going to end up in this company. But after high school, I mean, when it was time, when I graduated high school in 2004, I knew that New York was the only way, the only solution, and the only option. Going to France was not going to help me get there and accomplish my dream and realize that my goal was to be in Alvin Ailey. I've been with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater now for 8 years. I'm starting my 8th season, and I feel like I'm part of a very important heritage.
Yes.
It means a lot to me, being the only French dancer in this company. It means a lot. I'm part of a very important company. This is one of the best in the world, and it's been around now for 57 years, so it's definitely a dream come true.
Yes. What was that audition like? What was that like? You came to America, you came from French Guyana, you danced in French, France and so on. What was that like auditioning?
Yes, so first I would like to remind that I was a student. So I came to the Ailey School for scholarship to study, to get stronger and better. So from 2004 until 2006, I was a student, a fellowship student. Then I was chosen among one of the best students in the school to be a part of the second company, Ailey 2. So there is a junior company and there is the main company. The junior company, 12 dancers, 6 boys, 6 girls. Then in 2008, I officially joined the first company. Every year, this company has a mandatory audition. My path in this company is very unique and exceptional in a way where in the first time in the history, in 2007, when I was still in the junior company, during the City Center season of the main company in 2007, in December, one of the guys got injured. Judy Jamison, who was the artistic director, asked if Yannick LeBrun, who is still in the junior company, can replace that man who was injured for the main season. So I had to step in with the big boys. It was actually my first, one of my biggest joy. You know, remembering that I had to do double duty and step away and actually from 82 and do this season, a very important season, 5 weeks at City Center in 2007 with the main company. I worked so hard, and I was trying my best, you know, to make them happy and even to please myself and eventually get in the next year, knowing that there is an audition.
Yeah.
So I did that. I finished the season with them. They were very pleased, very satisfied. I went back with Ailey 2, of course, to finish my season because it's a very short company. It's a small company. We had some touring to do and finish the season. So then came the day, I believe it was in April, for the first company audition. The day before, the director of Ailey 2, her name is Sylvia Waters, she said, Yannick, okay, final decision. Judy Jamison decided that you don't have to come to the mandatory audition. You are accepted into the first company, yeah. So that's how I joined the company.
You skipped the mandatory audition.
I skipped the mandatory audition, yeah.
Many people have summer camps, but there are very, very few people that do a summer dance camp and take it into the community. And that's, to me, what also makes this organization different from the rest, is that the work is for that dancer who already has the passion, but then it's also for the kid who might not know yet that they have the passion.
I think that art is the bridge to get young people from one place to another. Because most people will tell you, including me, that even if you aren't looking to be a professional artist for the rest of your life, having the opportunity to express yourself and be creative and be able to see life outside of your everyday sets off a light in you. And that's a light that can produce hope. That's a light that can show you what you can accomplish, whether you want to be a sports broadcaster, whether you want to be a ballet dancer, whether you want to draw, or whether you want to be an attorney. Whatever it is you want to do with your life, art is the opportunity to show you how creativity can be that bridge for you.
It really encouraged me, especially when she spoke about self-worth. I'm not a person that's very confident about myself, and for her telling me that you have to own yourself and you have to know your capabilities and be proud of who you are, I think that was...
As a young child, did you have any idea, any vision of what you wanted to accomplish?
No, and actually I'm aware of that even more now. I don't even remember if I set certain goals for myself, if I was dreaming of certain things, or I had an idea of what I want. Not that big. I think that thanks to dance, I think dance saved my life. You know, dance made me find my purpose in life.
Can you tell us of any upcoming projects or events you're part of?
So, very soon, on October 22nd, Lincoln Center at the movie, Alvin, Ailey at the movie. Yeah, it's a very huge project, very huge thing happening. So, the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater will have a movie out in approximately 600 theaters around the United States. Yeah, it's something that started in June when we had our Lincoln Center season. They recorded 2 performances, and in that program they made a movie. So you will see 4 different ballets, and of course you will see interviews and us warming up and the backstage scenes, behind the scenes. So on October 22nd, Alvin, Ailey in many different theaters around around the States, and so that's a very nice thing. I'm on the poster for that.
That is good, man.
Yes,
that is good.
I'm very, very happy about that. Then of course, the season, City Center, December 2nd until January 4th. So 5 weeks intense, 5 weeks of dancing with Alvin Ailey at City Center, Midtown, in the heart of Manhattan. Different ballets, different choreographers, different styles, so everyone can enjoy a little bit of something, you know.
What style do you enjoy dancing?
I mean, first I was very moved and in awe in front of actually the founder of this company, Alvin Ailey, who created this company in 1958. You know, remembering his past and everything that he saw growing up in Texas, using Negro spiritual music, gospel. He created Revelations in 1960. This is the masterpiece of Alvin Ailey. Revelations is the ballet that has been applauded the most in the world, because we tour so much and we perform that ballet so much. So yeah, the modern dance style is what I enjoy the most, and Alvin's work, of course, Mr. Ailey's work.
I was growing up in Cayenne, French Guyana, influenced you as a dancer?
I'm very fortunate that I'm from French Guyana. I know it sounds a little silly to say that, but no, French Guyana is so multicultural. We have different cultures, people coming from different parts of the world. So we have different types of musics, and yeah, it definitely influenced me. The the rhythm of the drums, having people from Asia, Africa, Brazil, the Caribbean, all in one little country in French Guiana. It's so beautiful, and it definitely helped me develop as when I was a young dancer. Yeah, yeah. I've always been open to different dances, and yeah.
How quick? And you could tell I'm asking this from a person who is not a professional dancer, remotely a dancer. But how quick do you catch a dance step or a choreography? How challenging is that?
In general, I learn quick, but in our company, every year we invite different choreographers. They come and work with us for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, it depends. And each of them is so unique and different. So one choreographer might teach so fast that it'll take me a minute to get in my body, you know, to get this down, to get the counts sometimes too, because you gotta count 5, 6, 7, 8. No, but in general, my brain catches movement very quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was one of the most difficult or challenging choreography you've ever had?
Most difficult choreography that I've ever performed. I remember when I started my second year in the company. So we had an international tour. Every year we tour, US tour, international tour. So in 2009, we were in Paris, in France, in Paris. So I had to perform only twice. That was already a lot. The lead role in Firebird by Maurice Béjart. This ballet is very technical with a lot of classical movement and vocabulary. So it's a very balletic choreography, and it requires a lot of techniques and a lot of technique, ballet technique especially. So I don't consider myself a ballet dancer. I can definitely pull it off, but yeah, it was one of the most challenging. Yeah, it's called the Firebird, choreographed by Maurice Béjart. I was the Firebird. So you have to carry the ballet, and
that's all
at
on you.
one point it's all on you. You have that red unitard, and yes. So, but I didn't have to dance it so much. So
What did you learn about yourself during that experience?
That I can accomplish anything.
Awesome. Yannick, you dance, you move with the flexibility and fluidity of a body without the limitations of bones. That's how I put it. Always communicating words and pictures to your audience. How did you evolve into this human pen, this magnificent dancer communicator?
I think that my spirit, but even my personality, goes beyond what happens in the studio or inside a building. Even right now, I can think of something beautiful that I saw when I was in Cape Town or Johannesburg in South Africa, and that certain images comes to my mind when I dance, even when I walk out in the street. So I'm inspired, but constantly inspired by so many things. I think inspiration is important to create art and to express something else, something beyond just a beautiful body or just a structure. You know, it has to go beyond that. So yeah, I like to search for inspiration, and yeah, that's how I go, and that's how I see everything. Even when I dance, I go to certain memories that I had growing up in French Guiana. So yeah, it has to do with culture, it has to do with tradition, it has to do with my background, and it has to do with places that I go around the world, inspiration. Yeah.
If I could be an animal, I would be a blue morpho butterfly from French Guiana. Your words.
I love this butterfly.
Why the blue morpho butterfly? What is the connection?
So the connection to the blue morpho butterfly, I know it sounds so small and so fragile. I could actually say something else. I could be a panther or something bigger and so strong. But I did say that, I did mention that because it's very subtle, like seeing the blue morpho butterfly along the streams and along the rivers, in those huge rivers in French Guiana, in the Amazon forest. It goes, it as if you have to catch it real quick, because those wings have bright blue. I mean, the blue morpho butterfly has bright blue wings, and we don't often see it, and it goes, and when you see it, it goes unnoticed because it pops in this giant green atmosphere and environment that you have in French Guiana. It's like you have the green trees, you have the river and everything, and all of a sudden you see this butterfly with this bright blue wings, and it goes unnoticed, and it catches your eye very quick. We say in French Guiana the pirogue. It's like a canoe used also by the native people, because we also have native Indians. So if you use a canoe and you go on an excursion, you see that butterfly. It's like one of the best things.
When did this intimacy with movement begin for you?
My intimacy with movement.
Yes. You started when you were young. You were introduced to dance fortunately by your cousin. And fast forward, here you are at Alvin, Ailey. But you love movement. You have a passion for it.
Yes.
When did you develop this intimacy, this love affair with movement? Was it from the beginning?
Yeah, it was from the beginning. I started dancing, but then I also fell in love with finding my own voice as well, and also finding different way to approach the movement. I remember always taking the initiative of choreographing too, and helping my dance teachers. Like, okay, it's time to create the routines, and for our annual shows that we have, but also for the dance competition. So sometimes I used to choreograph my own routines or my own help my dance teacher choreograph. I did enjoy that, and
that really encouraged me to stay strong and do things to satisfy myself and not to satisfy others.
I really like what she said about the confidence. I never had confidence in myself. I was used to be a shy girl, always by my corner, but now I'm more opened up. I'm more in front of the classes to learn, and it doesn't matter if I do mistakes, everybody's there to do mistakes. And I love her because she's not a boring teacher to teach. She make it fun, and she make it very interesting to learn.
These eyes, they tell it, they show it, like ocean inside wells that take you in whole and leave you there, even if you ain't ready to stay or swim.
It's a great experience for anyone to do, any kid, any teenager, if they really want to get into the arts.
I really enjoyed it, and I really learned a lot in all classes, such as the drums, the contemporary, the African. Everything was great, and even the food, everything was awesome.
Throughout the week, I met phenomenal people from the stage, which was amazing. They taught me so many new things, and I learned great dance steps. It was a pleasure being here for the week and meeting all these wonderful people, and they had so much to share with us, and then we went well with everything they taught us. And in Miss Halima's class And other classes, I will keep things in my head to carry me further in whatever I want to do with the words of encouragement they gave me throughout the week.
I just want to say it was a great experience. Like, I had lots of fun with all my teachers, and I learned a lot of lessons that I will carry with me throughout whatever career I choose. It was just like an amazing experience, and I had a lot of fun.